My grandmother was a tailoress. She had a shop here in North East Valley, and so her and my mother made a lot of my clothes, and she also started the quilting and patchwork group here in Dunedin. And so I've inherited a lot of my grandmother's things from her sewing, and I still use them every day. And so I guess that kind of, it's always been there. I've always played around. I spent a lot of time as a child in her sewing room, but it wasn't until I actually got sick in 2008, and then I started being creative and made a wearable art piece called Butterfly Free, and won a competition with it, that I went to Polytech here, and then kind of just discovered my skills in that area, and through the process of being at Polytech realised how wasteful the system was, and what, I've always been quite environmentally minded and wanted to kind of counteract the fast fashion system somehow, and it's just been a lot of learning and growing through that process, and discovering more about the system and how it operates that's really pushed me. I'm quite activist in that space and want to make people more aware, so it's like I've discovered that it makes me feel much better to be able to do those things. So it's been about personal empowerment as well as sharing those skills with other people, really.
And what do you think needs to change about the system to be more sustainable?
I think we need radical systemic change in the way the fashion system operates. I think it's unacceptable that we're still treating people and the human component, which is so huge, the way we do in the system. But I think it's big brands that really need to start showing by actioning a lot of steps towards more regenerative practices.
And meanwhile, what can individuals do?
We have to take action on our own bodies, really, and that's really about how are you dressing yourself and what are you purchasing, and how are you mending your clothes and making them last longer. I haven't bought anything new apart from a pair of shoes in a long time, and I bought a pair of Doc Martens because they're going to last me 10 years, and that's what I needed. So it's about that longevity, I think.
And how are you educating around this whole space, particularly textile waste in Dunedin?
So I guess that's kind of where Stitch Kitchen comes into it. Having a community sewing room that anyone can drop into and come and learn those skills, and we can share our skills, is really important. We've found that we're getting a lot more younger people involved, and they're really interested in being resilient for themselves, and I think that's really encouraging us to keep going. I think it's really important that we are doing those things together as a community, and showing that it's actually normalising that mending is okay. It's okay to have a patch on your knee. It's okay to have some darning on your jersey or whatever, because we see this. You've got to have this facade up when you're in business or whatever, that you're clean and whatever, but you don't. Like, you can just make your own style up and have your own trends and do whatever makes you feel really empowered and good.
And particularly in Dunedin, what are you finding around textile waste? What is the information showing?
So we've got a lot of textile waste going to our landfill, 4,000 tonnes every year, which for us equates to 85 kilos per household, and that's insane. Like, how are we? Like, I know that number kind of includes commercial waste as well, but how are we? We're such a small city of like 125,000 people. How are we really making that much textile waste in a year? It seems like undoable, really. So how do we shift that? It's just making people more aware. So our Elephants project has been doing that, and it's been really great to see that shift happening. People are really into that project.
And you've got local government support to do that?
We got a grant to run a pop-up for 3 weeks, yes, but it hasn't been ongoing. We have to factor that into what we're doing. So we've been running weekly sessions here in our studio, but we are still trying to figure out how that will continue. We need to find more funding to keep it going because we're only about 700, but I think we've made about 700 or something elephants so far.
And the goal is to make
4,000 to equate to those 4,000 tonnes to really, make that a visible thing that is tangible, that you can actually touch it and see it and be part of the shift as well. So that's and luckily there's a great charity here called Ted's for Kids that all of the elephants are going to kids who've been through trauma to have something that they can cuddle and help them through that process.
So, in terms of you personally, for you, how do you find that making and working with your hands is of benefit?
For me, it's of great benefit. I'm a really practical person. I need to work with my hands and need to be able to express my creativity for mental health as well as physical and emotional, I guess, too. It's really important to be able to realise the ideas that come through and to be able to just play and experiment and risk. I do a lot of risky playing. You never know I never really know what the outcome's going to be, but I'll just play around with the idea and see what happens. That's for me what I really enjoy, is just seeing what happens.
And in terms of sustainabilities and sustainable values, what place do you think working with your hands is, and in your case particularly working with needle and thread and machine?
I think it's a huge factor in it. I think if we can't ever show creative innovation in a way that people can actually see tangible results, then we're never really going to be able to shift those ideas of buying new all the time. So that creative innovation is a really important aspect to how we see the future and how we get to this future of sustainability.